Hello, hello, hello. My name is Kerry Dell. I am a natural health practitioner. I work in a clinic here in Auckland, New Zealand. I am a certified WildFit coach, and I'm also an approved Mind Valley coach. And I'd just like to tell you why I've chosen WildFit, because I really went on my natural health journey over 25 years ago. And I have studied numerous different nutritional plans, qualifications with numerous different natural remedies, but natural techniques. And I've tried to implement everything I've learned into my life. I've really just, whatever there was going, I was implementing so that I could try it out myself. And it was about 4 years ago, I came across WildFit, and it absolutely blew my mind. It really blew my mind. So if I just tell you a little bit about myself, I was 11 years old when the doctors discovered I had scoliosis. And I had a doctor at the time say, don't worry, you could outgrow it, so don't stress too much about it. By the time I was 13, it had got so bad that they decided to put me in a back brace. So I had a solid plastic back brace with a steel pin down the spine that ran, from the top of my neck all the way down to halfway down my bum. And then just under my boobs, to my hips. So I used to strap into this every day, 23 hours out of 24. And if I was out of it, I had to be in water, either a bath or a swimming pool. Otherwise, that's how I was. And they said, you have to be in that until you finish growing. Because as you grow, you're going to grow straight. So that was a really good theory. It was really good. But what happened is, back in those days, they told me that it's not really a good idea to play sport. And I really couldn't play much sport having this on me constantly. So I ended up giving up a lot of my sport, and my core muscles got really weak. So when I was 16, and they kept on doing measurements and they kept on doing x-rays, and I hit 16, and they said to me, you finished growing, so we're going to take you out of the brace. I celebrated. I absolutely celebrated. But they took me out of the brace, and because my core muscles were so weak, my curvature slumped to 25 degrees and settled there. And so my whole life, I've lived with a 25-degree curvature. I knew that I couldn't wear high heel shoes because every time I did, I got the most horrific back pain. I had to sleep on a hard bed. In fact, most of my teenage life, going right up until about the age of 18, I slept on the floor because that was the most comfortable, because it was the hardest surface that I could. So I slept on the floor. I would stand up and give talks throughout my career. I have done talks. Some of the time my back went into such bad spasms that I had to wait for people to leave the room. And then I had to do my stretches and squats and crunches just so that I could actually move my back, so that I could actually walk out of there. I have tried osteopaths, chiropractors. Craniosacral therapist was actually really good when I went into spasm and I was hunched over for a period of time. I've done kinesiologists, I have done biokinetics, I've done whatever was going, I've done. I've got orthotics in my shoes. So I have tried so many things, but at the end of the day, I lived with chronic back pain because that was one of the things I thought that I lived with and that I would have to live with. So when I started my WildFit journey, I did not for 1 minute think that I would get rid of my chronic back pain. Not for 1 minute. I was doing it because Eric spoke about his sinuses. I was doing it to shed maybe a little bit of weight, but I was doing it mainly to do some research because I'm a natural health practitioner. I wanted to know what happened to my body so that I could possibly recommend this to clients. Halfway through the program, I jumped out of bed one morning and I turned to my husband and I said to him, I didn't have to stretch to get out of bed. I just jumped out of bed this morning. I didn't get out of bed with any back pain. And I monitored it. No pain. And the weeks went by and there was no pain. 4 years later, there's no pain. There's no pain. And this is why I highly, highly recommend WildFit. Because what I didn't realize is that there was a food that was triggering the inflammation in my system, which was causing the acidity in my body to cause pain. And so I have managed to find out what that was, and I have managed to live pain-free for the last 4 years, thank you to WildFit. So chronic back pain. I've still got scoliosis, I've still got the curvature, but you don't have to live with chronic back pain. And that was one thing that I learned. So I'm hoping that this will help you. WildFit is absolutely phenomenal, where it clears out all the toxins out of your system so that you don't have to live in pain. Go for it and have a brilliant, brilliant journey. Take care.